Hello Nerd Beans, this is Crafty Kuko, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how I made these open back bezel charms. For this craft I used UV resin, which cures via UV light, and a tiny UV lamp which can cure it in minutes. If you're following along, you're going to need rhinestones and other inclusions like glitter and charms, masking tape, toothpicks and a stir stick, a heat gun or lighter for popping air bubbles, latex gloves, which you never see me use because I'm dumb, and paper towel for cleanup. This is the open bezel I used. It reminded me of the jar that the beast kept his enchanted rose within. First, I covered the back of the bezel with masking tape. The tape has to be firmly pressed against the metal to ensure the resin doesn't leak out. If you're following along, you can use regular 2-part resin for this. You're just going to be waiting a while for it to cure. Here's a pro tip. You can easily make your own bezels with 18-gauge wire and the right tools. Check my earlier video where I make a crescent moon bezel. Next, I add the resin. I like to use a chopstick to dispense my resin because I was a giant weeaboo as a teen and it still haunts me. I used a toothpick to drag the resin to the edges. Seriously, one reason I prefer UV resin over regular resin, other than the obvious reason of it takes minutes to cure versus a whole flocking day, it's a lot thicker than regular resin, which can be handy if you only want to fill one side of the bezel and add details before filling in the rest. I'll show you how to do that in a future video. Glitter time! I used a nice dark blue for the moon one to simulate the night sky. You don't have to be as stingy as me, just drop that stuff in there. Add the moon afterwards. On the other one, I used a light blue glitter. And a dash of iridescent pink. Add the rose. Let them sit under the UV lamp for 2 to 3 minutes, or 15 to 20 minutes by a sunlit window. At this point, I added more resin to fill up to the top of the bezels. I used a toothpick to get into all those nooks and crannies. Back into the Easy Bake Oven for another 2 minutes. I added a small drop of resin to the moon one and a line of resin along the bottom of the rose one. That's where I'm going to be putting the rhinestones. If you're careful, you can use the toothpick to pick up the rhinestones by dabbing the tip in resin and touching it lightly to the surface of the rhinestone. Don't overdo it with the resin though. Rhinestones tend to lose their faceted sparkle if they get covered completely. Cure again for 2 minutes. You can take the tape off the back now. I decided I wanted more sparkle for the rose one, so I used purple glitter nail polish to paint the back. While that dried, I coated the back of the crescent moon one. Repeat for the rose. cure that and it's done. What do you think? If you try this craft out, let me know, and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. Hey, thanks for dropping in. I do my best to make one of these videos every couple weeks, so be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, Crafty Kuko. If you're interested in seeing some sneak peeks of what I'm currently working on, look me up on Instagram at Ashley Kuko Creations, or on Facebook, Kuko Creations. Before I go, let me ask, what's your favorite fairy tale? Later days.